Great.
Well, we're on Facebook, so...
Okay, good. So we're on Facebook. Hey, whoever's watching this so far, we're doing a live 90s Percentile, number 39 today, more as a test for our big Simpsons one that we're doing tomorrow. But if you're watching it, thanks for joining us. We're going to get started in just a couple of seconds, as soon as we figure out why the Periscope's not working, because we're live streaming on both Facebook and Periscope right now.
I don't think...
Yeah, Jack doesn't think.
This iPod can do Periscope anymore.
Alright, so we're not doing Periscope.
I think it's too obsolete. Does your phone do Periscope?
I'd have to download it and install it and do a whole thing. Should we just roll with it and just do Facebook?
Most likely. Let me see.
Should I share this on 90s
Sure.
Percentile? I haven't yet.
It's on Wcw. Share through 90s Percentile.
Yeah. Alright, well, we're live, and I don't know if anyone's... we have no comments yet, but... I don't know, someone might listen to this at some point. Right now it's just me talking to myself. So, how are you, Dan? I'm doing pretty good. If for some reason you don't know what this is a podcast about the 90s. We'll get to the intro pretty soon. But first, Jack
stalling.
Jack is telling me to keep stalling, so I'm
Don't tell him that. Don't break the fourth wall.
Jack's saying not to break the fourth wall.
No, that's breaking it even more.
Jack is saying this is all terrible, and we're gonna cut all this, but not really. Yeah. So, We Studios Pod is our new. We Studios, our corporate rebrand. Pretty sweet. Guys seem to be pretty happy about that. We're happy about it. We like our logo that Missy, Jack's girlfriend, made for us. You guys do too. We're trying to get Periscope set up.
I don't think it's going to work.
I don't think it's going to work either. I say we just roll with it and we just do Facebook.
I did create about 30 Periscope videos that last for half a second.
Nice, and they're all just your floor, or your
crotch,
your crotch, me burping. Oh man.
No,
well, no one is watching this
It's not
yet,
working.
so...
It's not working. Fuck it. We won't do it live.
We will not do it live. We'll do it on Facebook, which is what we're doing right now. So we're going to get started in just a second.
Oh, what's that echo coming from?
That was me playing our video right now, just because I wanted to see, make sure everything's working.
I don't know if I should be bad-mouthing Facebook on our very first Facebook video. I like Periscope better.
We like Periscope better. It's a lot easier to
Is that what our
set up
aspect
quickly.
ratio looks like?
Yeah,
like
we're real like bundled close together.
What's it look like on your computer?
It looks exactly like that.
Ugh.
Because there's room for the comments. It's like it's stupid. You know what it is? It's because it's set up to be like long ways, I bet. I don't know why that's like a thing that people are doing. Where
landscape? Is that what that's called? No, landscape.
Well, no, this is landscape. That would be portrait? We're probably upside down now. No, I don't think we should do that because it's already
the same. It's a square.
It's the same. It's a square. Let's just leave it. Let's just do it.
I like Periscope better.
Guys, thanks for joining us in our worst live episode ever. We didn't advertise this at all that we were going to do a live episode because we didn't know until about a half hour ago.
Well, we're testing it for tomorrow.
We're testing it for
big
tomorrow.
Event tomorrow.
Yeah. But I'm assuming this is going to wind up on YouTube or something, and people are going to be like, what are these two assholes that they're just talking about Periscope?
Yeah,
maybe we'll cut all this. I don't even know.
We're going to blow up the internet. Sorry, Ken Bone. Jack and Dan's Bone Facebook Live video is going to take America by storm.
I couldn't believe how big Ken Bone got.
Did you hear what happened?
No, what happened?
So he did an AMA on Reddit.
Yeah, I saw that there was a request for it. I didn't see him actually do it.
He did an AMA on Reddit.
Okay.
He didn't create a new Reddit account. He used his
personal one? Oh, no.
So people just clicked it and looked at his previous posts.
Oh, no.
He's a well-rounded guy. He's got some comments about certain hot button issues, which if you listen to the show, so do I.
Okay. Self-driving cars and the like.
He's got a fairly nuanced, centrist take. He's not like a racist. But one of his comments was about Jennifer Lawrence's hacked photos.
Okay.
And he said, he was arguing with somebody saying, you can't blame her for not having a weak password. It's still the people who stole it's fault. That said, I looked at her butthole and I liked it.
Classic Ken
Classic
Bone.
Bone.
That's amazing.
Is that you, the one live viewer?
Actually, no, I don't think it is.
You
'Cause
sure?
I'm not on it. I'm not on our page. So, hello, viewer.
I don't know. I bet it's you.
It could just be us.
I was going to look up our Periscope. I guess we could... You want to hook this back up to our YouTube then? Oh, no. We want to look at this on Facebook then. Right? We wanted to use the main screen.
Oh, hello, says someone whose name I can't read because
You don't have that good eyesight? That says Francis...
Yeah, what's it say, Jack?
Francis...
Oh, yeah. What do you have, great eyesight with your little glasses over there?
M7... We're putting it up on the full screen. Give me a second.
Yeah. You don't have... Maybe you should learn to read before you criticize my eyesight.
Hello.
I saw Francis. I didn't want to say Magubaful.
I can see...
We can't see it.
I can make out like 8 out of those 12.
Yes. We appreciate you watching us struggle through our first Facebook Live video.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, God. This is
This
always death. We've never had a good experience with these live videos.
No, I wonder why.
Are we going to hear the audio from this?
No, I muted it.
Okay, good.
Oh, but we have to watch... Do we have to watch...
No, it'll come in live.
There's those hairy arms.
I don't know. I think they're pretty...
So this should allow us to see the comments, correct? No?
No.
Fucking face.
You've stumbled into a classic blunder, Jack.
How do we see the comments?
You gotta scroll down. It's just like a Facebook post.
You know what?
Francis Miss Pagel!
I knew this because when I watched Karate Tortoise on I watch on my phone because Facebook Live is so shitty on the desktop.
Yeah, it is pretty shitty. Alright,
there's no point in reading it like this. Are we going to see the comments?
Yeah, we'll see them live as they come in. But anyway, we should get started with the actual episode, and we'll just delete all of this.
Should we just, even though we said Facebook tomorrow, should we just do Periscope?
I mean, we could, but I don't know. We'll see.
Francis, are you on Periscope?
Oh, God. I think Francis gave up, like, immediately.
Yeah, we can't even see who's watching, right? Oh, yeah, there's no live viewers left.
Yeah,
Francis
gave up immediately. It was just
back to France.
Like this. Yep, everyone named Francis is from France.
It's French for Frank.
It's French from I'm from here.
I don't like it. I like Periscope a million times better. Am I just being an old man, or am I wrong?
So the question is, should we just not even bother with this?
Well, this is why we're doing a test show.
Yeah.
We're committed to it for this 1 hour, but I'm saying maybe for our big show tomorrow, we say, look at that, somebody just came and went. I don't know. I think Facebook Live might be for the birds. Maybe if we put a Chewbacca mask on.
And talk about Jennifer Lawrence's
I don't know. I don't like the fact that the desktop, you can't see the comments, and I don't like the fact...
Well, you can see the comments. We just haven't gotten any comments. You want me to comment?
I feel like that's not as live action as it...
Here, I'll comment, and we'll see it on the page. And see how that works.
That looks like you're posting on Facebook. You know, it doesn't look like a live comment. It looks like
If this video ever gets added to our YouTube, cut all of this. People don't need to be like, "What's this 90s percentile I've heard so much about?"
Oh my God, this is for me.
Hear us talking about Ken Bone and all of our problems setting this fucking thing up.
They're complaining about technology too much.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm going to mute that for a second.
Yeah, I believe we're recording that.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, so that's on the track now. No, am I wrong? I feel like...
So yeah, it came up live.
Okay.
I commented fart on our page
right.
as We Studios.
Fine.
Can I delete that comment? I can.
Can I like it? Can I like our own
nope,
comment?
I deleted it. I deleted it.
I liked it. I'm going to take a screenshot of that.
What are we going to do with a screenshot?
I don't know how to use this Windows keyboard to take a screenshot. There it is.
All right.
Should we start the show?
Yeah, but before I'm going to text my wife real quick because she just texted me.
Periscope, man. All right, so we get the live comments. Yeah, hey Kevin. I'm really not sold on this Facebook Live. The interface is not great.
Hey Kevin, how's it going?
We only have half the screen. They devote half of the aspect ratio to the comments.
Great.
Look how close we have to get. Dad smells.
That's not a lie.
His breath smells.
Oh,
We're too close. We agreed. I signed a contract saying I would only do the podcast.
It's true.
If we were 15 feet
There were
apart.
very specific distance
We
clauses.
got the table from Batman 1 with Michael Keaton and Kim Basinger.
I don't think I've ever actually been in this room.
I said some salt. Can I get some salt?
Fruit, please.
Fruit. Hello.
Some fruit. We're just combining.
Now we're just doing random quotes from the late 80s. From 1989.
All right, guys, let's start this. Now we actually have some viewers. We should like actually.
That's the thing. That's the only advantage I can see to Facebook is more viewers. I like Periscope.
I don't know. There's like
we still haven't tried YouTube Live because
there's a quartet of people watching us live right now. So
yeah, it's a barbershop quartet.
Hello, hello.
They comment in harmony.
It's pretty great.
Let's
Nice.
just do this fucking show.
Okay, guys. So now we're gonna start the actual show. So we have the timer ready, or what's up?
Yeah, Jack looks like Sam Jackson.
We're not actually
not 100% like Sam Jackson.
We're not actually recording anything. We don't even have an SD card in the recorder to record the podcast. Is it just that one right there?
Thank God this is a test show.
I'll just get that.
So, if you're just tuning in, this is a test show. We're testing Facebook Live for the very first time because we are going to be watching the new Treehouse of Horror Simpsons episode live at 8 o'clock Eastern tomorrow, and then at 8:30 we will be doing a follow-up review of that episode. And we say 8:30 because that's when The Simpsons ends. Knowing us and how long it takes to get this set up to work,
Like 10:45.
Be like November 4th.
Probably.
All right, you ready to do this?
Yeah, that SD card was the right one, right? It was just.
It doesn't matter. As long as there's memory on it.
Okay, let's record us.
This is 90s Percentile.
Nope, we're not recording yet. Why is it not going?
You talk to the audience while I...
Audience, it's Dan here, and I wanted to tell you that I hate you, and you shouldn't be listening.
This is
to
90s Percentile, episode 39. No guest, just technical difficulties up the asshole. All right, you ready?
I love that movie. Yeah. Okay.
Technical difficulties up the asshole.
Yeah.
A Spike Lee joint.
Yep.
Did I close the Facebook page?
You did, and you're starting this episode.
Yes.
And we did it.
Mm-hmm.
This is awful.
Now I know who Sam Jackson is, Ben. I'm just saying I don't look exactly like him because.
Oh, Samuel L. Jackson.
He's black.
I thought he meant Sam Jackson. You know, the butcher down the street.
I'm not black. This is just a lot of hair blocking the light to my skin.
Oh man,
Alright.
what is this?
I don't
What are we doing? This is our Saturday night,
We were
Jack.
just getting the hang of Periscope.
Yeah, really. Were we? I don't know.
I
If
don't
we were.
know. I don't like Facebook Live. I don't like this split screen.
Ay.
Get Mark Zuckerberg on the horn. I've got something to say to him.
Hey, Mark. Yeah, it's Dan. You're from 90s Percentile. How's it going? Really? You can just get some cream. It'll take care of that. Anyway, we're trying to do Facebook Live, and it's not working so good. Mark Zuckerberg from Facebook.
Tell him to make it a full. People like to look at video on their phone in widescreen.
Could you make it a full screen? Uh-huh.
No, not full screen, widescreen.
Could you make it a widescreen?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. That's even worse than full screen?
Tell him to put the comments on like Periscope does.
Uh-huh.
Just buy Periscope.
He says he can't buy Periscope. He says, how did you get this number? I'm calling the police. All right, so that's fine.
That was Zuckerberg Theater.
that was a bit. That was not in the episode. And again, you should cut that from when we put this on YouTube.
Dan used to do Bertolt Brecht back in Cornell.
It's true. It's not true.
And then he went to Zuck Brecht. Bertolt Zuck.
I think that joke Bertolt sucked.
Can we do the show?
I don't know. Can we?
I don't know.
Yeah, let's do it. You're starting.
Is this better? Do I look less like Samuel L. Jackson or more?
More, because he's a huge Giants fan.
He might be. Where's he from?
I don't know. I have no idea if he's a Giants fan. No.
All right, I'm starting.
Yeah.
What's going on now? What is this thing?
Guys, you're witnessing live
Hate technology.
as Jack just collapses as a human
I
being.
hate technology so much. All right, you ready?
No, but let's just do it.
60 minutes around the clock and straight out of Wii Studios, this is 90s Percentile. My name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and we're talking everything 90s and maybe also everything before and after.
That's right, and this is a test show for our Facebook Live. Technically, this is our first time ever on Facebook Live.
Well,
I mean, technically, it was that close-up of my crotch for about 5 seconds.
True, but this is also actually an episode of our podcast, 90s Percentile. This is episode number 39, so if you're just listening to the audio episode and you have no idea what we're talking about, we actually did do a live, Facebook Live broadcast of this episode. I'm assuming it will be on our Facebook page or the Wii Studios Facebook page.
Yeah.
And you can watch it if you want, but we had about 20 minutes of technical difficulties before we even started recording the episode.
Cards on the table, I like Periscope better.
So we'll see.
The comments take up half the screen, it fucks the whole aspect ratio up, I don't know.
But just throw a real quick plug in, if you're listening to the episode the day it came out, we last night did a live Simpsons episode. We do a podcast, I don't know if you guys have heard of it, called Worst Episode Ever.
A Simpsons podcast.
A Simpsons podcast, and we watched the last night's Treehouse of Horror episode live, and then immediately did a Facebook Live podcast recording. So hopefully that went well.
Yeah, who knows.
And better than what we just did right now, but
I wouldn't be surprised if we didn't even bother with Facebook Live and we ended up doing it on Periscope.
We'll see, but that's not why we're here today. We are here today taking your 90s topics. It's just Jack and I, no guest in studio, and that means we're going to dip into the old random topic,
Yeah, before
Jenny.
we do that, we got inspired to find, well, we were going to try Facebook Live for a while.
Yeah.
But we've been watching the Karate Tortoise, the Spooked Horse guys, do their Tortoise Talk live every night on Facebook.
Right, so that's Billy Hiller, Mike Diaz, past guests,
Yeah,
probably future guests.
Yeah, definitely, and we want to congratulate them. They hit $30,000. They actually hit and some of you guys, our listeners, helped out with the campaign.
Yeah.
Special shout out to Matt and Corey from Podcast of Terror. They were very generous, had them on the show.
Absolutely.
Sent some tweets out. So congrats to everybody involved for getting $30,000. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's all Gilbert Gottfried's
it's all for him.
money.
Yeah.
He's
It's
got
not
a
even
very
his
high.
fee.
He wants HBO in the trailer.
Yeah, it's amazing. I gotta watch HBO. I love this Westworld. They're robots, but they're cowboys.
That's it. That was a recording we just played.
It was. It's amazing that we got that
negotiations.
from Mike and Billy. I think it'd be funny if now that Mike and Billy got their money, if we never saw them again and they just absconded with 30 grand.
They patched together some paper mache turtle action figures and hightailed it to Mexico.
That's it. We go to their apartment and there's just a dust ball and like a Turtles Talk Live sign, and that's it.
There's a Billy and Mike shaped holes in the wall. For some reason they left it.
They bolted through the walls like cartoon characters. Yeah, I think that's exactly what happened. All right, Jack.
I'm really disappointed. We were trying to do a Periscope and Facebook Live at the same time.
No, it did not work.
And then if we had both cameras next to each other, we could have theoretically done a 3D video at some point in the future.
Right. We're doing this whole Wii Studios corporate thing. We're a podcast network now. We got 2 shows that we're doing. We do this every week. We do The Simpsons every other week. We really need to hire that intern who can take care of all this stuff. And we can just be like, John, just fucking set up the Facebook, set up the Periscope.
Or Johnette.
Or Joan.
Or Joan.
Or what's the male equivalent of Joan? Mr. Joan?
Mr. Joan. I want an intern.
Jonesy.
I want an intern named Mr. Jonesy
Jonesy Jones. That's a 90s thing.
Yeah, it is.
All right. You know what else are 90s things, Jack?
Our topics?
Our topics that listeners can submit on weepodcast.com. That's weepodcast.com. So you go right on there. There's the random topic generator.
Look how close together we are. It's so awkward.
We're real close together.
Don't touch me.
Jack, are you ready for our first topic?
No, I hate this.
Well, too bad. We have our first topic. It is from Daniel and Soul, who has submitted a number of topics.
That's like the 4th in a row.
You know, I took a little peek in our, we have a big spreadsheet. We're almost up to 900 topics.
Oh my goodness.
A lot of them came from Daniel and Soul. I think
how many are non-Daniel from Soul topics?
I think, about 6. So we'll see if we get into those. But Daniel's topic is cable porn. Jack,
did he do another porn topic?
We have talked about porn almost more than self-driving cars at this point, which is pretty big for us.
The fact that this is the second porn topic from Daniel, I'm using we never talk about this rule. We stole this from X Factor.
Yeah.
But every week we are allowed one buzzer where we buzz in. We say,
really?
Yeah, it's called the move on button.
Now hang on. We didn't really talk about cable porn. To me, cable porn is like Skinamax.
Do you mean like
Cat House on HBO, Red Shoe Diaries on HBO?
I thought you were talking about like porn fan fiction of the comic book character Cable.
There certainly is that.
Let's look it up.
I've written a little bit of it myself.
Look it up.
Oh, a Scotty song. You're doing so well. That's what they called him in the future. It's Cable's backstory is
Scotty-san?
Askani-son. Askanison.
Like Japanese?
I have no idea where it comes from. I'm sure someone co-opted it from some legend or something, but
I don't know if this is a thing. I would make it called XXX Men.
That's definitely a thing.
Oh,
There's definitely a pornographic film called Triple X Men.
Right,
I've never seen it. But
I'm Google imaging search right now. Cable porn.
we
X-Men.
searched cable porn X-Men to see what comes up. Yup.
What's that? Deadpool?
Guys, if you wanted to know if there was cable porn, there is.
Lots of it.
There's lots of it.
Is that Rogue?
That is Gambit, my friend. I think.
Gambit?
Male Gambit?
Gambit has white hair.
Or
like
male
that?
Rogue? I don't know what that is,
I
but
think it's male Rogue.
whoever that is, they are not
with
circumcised.
with an uncircumcised penis. Why is Cable covering up his penis?
I have no idea. This is making me very uncomfortable.
Who's Nate?
Nate is a Cable. His name is Nathan Summers.
So his penis. So male Rogue's penis is smaller than Nate's penis. Oh, Nate. Oh, I didn't even realize Nate's penis is sticking out of.
Yeah, no,
it's gigantic.
It's gigantic.
It blended so well in with his abs. I didn't even notice.
Are we gonna need to like tweet this picture out so people know what the fuck we're talking about?
I think that would get us banned from Twitter.
Guys, don't Google Cable
Mystique?
X-Men porn.
What is
That
that?
is Domino from X-Force.
What
This is,
that
I
power?
guess this is better than talking about like Skinamax porn, like talking about actual.
I like that. So Cable is half steel? I thought he just had like a metal arm.
Cable has been infected with the techno-organic virus and uses all of his vast mutant powers to keep it in check at all times, which is why he's not the most powerful being on the planet.
Otherwise he would have.
Otherwise, he would be. Yes.
I like how like confidently he's just watching her be naked.
You know, he and Domino are close friends and allies.
She's a future
and
X-Man?
She is an X-Force member.
All right, you ready for this one?
What the fuck is this?
So this is a drawing, obviously, it's a sketch, and it's Wolverine drinking the butt juice.
This is okay. First of all, this is the worst episode we've ever done.
I'm trying to tell who's butt juicing into his mouth, but the perspective of the angle. We just see a hulking, muscular mass, kind of hairy, with his butt cheeks spread open.
Wait,
and liquid coming.
Oh my god, those are
Is it-
butt cheeks.
That's what I'm saying. It's not.
I thought that was a head.
No. So at first you would think he's peeing. Wolverine's drinking somebody's pee. But it's clearly coming right out of the asshole. So anyway, the perspective of this is it's a big.
We are earning the explicit tag this week.
We literally kind of just see the ass and like the guy is spreading out his own ass cheeks, so it's hard to tell which X-Men character is secreting liquids out of his asshole. I want to say Sabretooth.
No, it's definitely a Cable because he's got the
is
techno
Cable.
butt cheek there.
It's hard to tell. It's black and white. I'm sorry, I couldn't tell.
Guys.
Right, so it's Cable. I'm guessing somebody came in Cable's asshole, and then he quickly
What was that?
moved over to Wolverine and opened
What was
his
that thing
butt
you
out
said?
to-
We have an X Factor no button or something. Can I activate that now?
No, it's you.
Guys.
You blew it.
Can I be? I've been on the internet before. All right, I know what's up. That's Cyclops' father, and he's having sex with him in the butt, and it says Happy Father's Day.
Look how disgusted Magneto is in the background.
But Quicksilver's jerking Magneto off. That's his son.
Who's that on the right?
That's Havoc, who's Cyclops' brother, and Cable, who is Cyclops' son.
That's Cable on the right?
Yeah, or Nate Gray, maybe, but who's also Cyclops' son.
Did somebody draw this for his father?
I have no idea, but as I was going to
How
say...
much money for you to give your dad this for a Father's Day card? It's literally Cyclops butt fucking his own father while they make out.
My dad would not
I'm
understand
gonna
it.
check our comments. We haven't checked them in a while.
But literally, I've been on the internet before. I'm aware that there is porn and like there's porn for everything. I am shocked at the sheer amount of X-Men porn that came up just by Googling Cable porn X-Men. There is a lot of it.
All right,
and it is graphic.
One more, then we'll move on.
All right, good. There's a clip from some sort of X-Men porno film.
Yeah, with actual live action.
With an actual people.
So Cable and Domino, did they date in the comics, judging by all the cocks?
I think they had like a very close relationship that may not have
Is
been
this a
romantic.
real shot from the cartoon?
Yeah, that looks like a real shot from the
Oh
cartoon.
my god, this looks like porn. It's Rogue.
That's a very shapely butt.
Rogue
on
shapely
Rogue.
butt, and that's Apocalypse, right?
Yeah, I think that's episode 109, The Cure.
That's kind of sad that looks like actually.
Yeah,
looks like porn.
it fits in with all
I don't
of
think
these.
we're gonna top the butt juice in.
There's a lot of
Domino sucking
Deadpool
dick.
cable. Oh! What is that? What is that? Get it off!
I moved away very quickly.
That
If
was
I
someone
had-
shoving a cable into their penis. That's what that was.
All right, we're gonna take one quick look again.
I don't want to.
Where'd it go?
Yeah, that's
it's definitely
exactly what
it's
that
a
is.
cable going into a pee hole.
That's disgusting. You are all diseased. Can we please move on and pick another topic? Daniel and Soul may be banned. I know he didn't intend for this to happen, but this is where we've gone.
Is that Freddy Krueger?
No,
Oh,
it's
it's Deadpool without his mask
That's
on.
Deadpool
Why is there
and
so much
Cable
Deadpool
having
porn?
sex.
Is Deadpool from the future?
Deadpool and Cable are like buddies.
Oh, wait, but Deadpool's from the future?
Is that the Blob having sex with Black Cat? That doesn't even make sense.
I don't think that's Wolverine. I think those are just guys from the 80s. Naked.
I don't know what's happening. This is not how I wanted this podcast to go.
What is this?
I don't know. Somehow Simpsons porn has come up too.
Well,
That's just
they
so
know their
weird.
audience.
All right, there's
They-
just
Do you want to talk about Cinemax? Or,
guy. No, I think we're gonna move on from this topic. Let's move on to something G-rated, maybe, or at least PG-13. So here we go.
Oh, hello.
We got another topic here from Mr. Dan Dennis, longtime listener, a lot of topic submitter.
Recent cut all this.
Yes, on our other show.
broadcaster.
His topic, Basic Instinct. So not very PG,
No,
not
no,
PG-13.
Not PG at all.
But that's fine. We can talk about Basic
Have you ever
Instinct.
seen Basic Instinct?
I don't think I've ever seen the whole thing.
I've never seen it.
Really? Okay,
Yeah.
Jack,
I
tell
know-
me. What do you think Basic Instinct is about?
Well, unlike
I know the basic plot.
yeah, unlike
of Basic
movies,
Instinct.
unlike movies like Murder at 1600 and
Well, we're experts on murder.
and
1600.
hackers. Yeah,
And hackers.
I have a passing. It's about the ice pick killer,
That's correct.
played by Sharon Stone.
Allegedly.
Michael Douglas is a cop, a reporter,
Michael
investigating
Douglas.
it, and she uses her sexual wiles to keep him off her trail.
Pretty
and
much,
they have
yeah.
sex, and then she gets interrogated by the police, and she shows her beeve.
She shows her beef to Newman,
And I don't want to be.
which they parodied in Seinfeld.
And I don't want to be offensive by using the term beeve. I'm using beeve because in Loaded Weapon 1,
Yes, I figured that's where
they
this was
show
going.
a beaver shot, and it's a literal beaver.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Sharon Stone plays a killer who's also a writer. Like, she kills men and kind of writes about it in fiction, I think.
That's lame.
Yeah, I mean,
I
you
don't
know,
I write about lots of things. When I kill somebody, I keep my mouth shut.
keep your mouth shut.
Keep my hands still.
Snitches get stitches. But it was
I did
directed
kill this guy
by...
yesterday, though. It was so
Oh, it
awesome.
was so good.
I gotta tell you about it later.
All right, tell me about it off air. It was directed by...
On his pee hole.
oh, Jesus. Jesus.
I took a
I'm
picture
never
of
gonna
it.
I
I took
unsee
a
that
picture of
image.
it and I uploaded it and I put as the tag.
So that was it. Cable
porn.
X-Men porn. Terrific. Guys, don't
I was
Google
watching
those things.
X-Men at the time.
Of course. So you just type down what you're watching.
That's how I tag all my posts. Whatever,
that's how life
whatever's
works.
on the TV,
Yeah,
and
that's
whatever
just-
I'm murdering somebody with,
Right.
and then porn, plus
It's
porn,
just-
because
it's
porn
just-
gets you the hits.
Of course.
Yeah.
You gotta get those likes.
Yeah.
Gotta get those Facebook likes. I don't remember what I was gonna say. Who directed Basic Instinct? It was what's his
Pearl
face?
Verhoeven.
Paul Verhoeven, yes. So I'm a little surprised that you haven't seen it, because I know you're a huge Robocop fan.
He's 3 for
Total
3.
Recall, right?
He's
Starship Troopers.
Yeah, he's 3 for 3 in that trilogy of
Yeah.
of Total Recall, RoboCop, Total Recall, and Starship Troopers.
I know it's not our topic, but what about Showgirls?
I've never seen it.
I've seen bits and pieces of it.
I've never seen Showgirls. I've never seen Basic Instinct. I haven't seen any of his newer movies. I haven't seen any of his older movies.
Yeah.
What else has he done?
I think that's kind of it. I think after Starship Troopers, he went back to Holland?
I think Holland.
Wherever he's from, I think he's still been making some movies, just nothing as big, which is kind of weird, because Paul Verhoeven
He's
was...
so fucking talented.
Yeah,
Paul
iconic
Verhoeven.
80s, 90s director. RoboCop alone is, a masterpiece.
RoboCop's one of the
best
if not
movies
most perfectly executed
ever.
movies of all time.
So he's from the Netherlands.
Nerd Holland.
From Nerd Holland. It's like regular Holland, but for nerds.
Because as opposed to Cool Holland.
As opposed to Cool Holland, where they smoke weed all the time.
This Facebook Live is wreaking havoc on my computer.
It is. All right, so,
Man.
oh, right, he did Hollow Man.
Which I've also never seen.
Yes, you have.
No,
we
I
saw it in theaters together.
You always do that to me. I was not invited.
Why were you not invited?
I don't know. I was probably being an asshole that week.
That could be.
I mean,
Really?
Yeah.
We saw. Oh man.
We were sophomores then. Are you sure? We weren't really going to the movies that
I
much.
100% saw Hollow Man in theaters. It's
Well,
not a great
You
movie.
didn't see it with me because I've never seen it.
I guess I must have seen it with.
All right, so here's his '90s lineup, starting with RoboCop in '87.
Sure.
RoboCop, Recall, Basic Instinct, Showgirls, Starship Troopers, Hollow Man, and then some
back
local
to whatever.
foreign films. Yeah, so that was a powerful sixum right there.
Well, I gotta say, Showgirls, Starship Troopers, Hollow Man, say what you will about them as movies, they were bombs, all of them. All three of them did not do very well.
No.
I think Showgirls has a certain kitsch appeal nowadays, a camp appeal that people like.
Do you think that appeal came from the NC-17 rating, or did it come from the fact that it had a Saved by the Bell girl in it?
I think both of those things helped, but it's also a really shitty movie. It's a lot like Basic Instinct in the sense that Basic Instinct is this like sexual thriller. It's oozing with sex and it's like gross. It's oozing with people putting cables up their penises. And it's kind of like I don't know, what would you call it? Like Body Heat or something, like one of those types of movies, like a sexy thriller.
Right.
And I think Showgirls tries to be that, but it's also just like really.
What's Showgirls about? It's a thriller?
Showgirls is kind of a thriller. I've not seen the whole thing.
I just assumed it was like the day in the life of a strip house.
No, I'm pretty sure it's Elizabeth
Is that
Berkley.
what they're called? Strip houses? Strip clubs?
I don't think so. I think Elizabeth Berkley plays a showgirl who gets involved with some kind of like crime lord or something, and there's this weird scene where they fuck in a pool, and it's awkward. I think there's
Who plays the crime lord?
Yep, it was Burt Reynolds, and he plows her.
No, that's from Striptease.
Oh right, that's a different movie. Also, which I've seen parts of.
So who plays the crime lord?
I have no idea.
It's
I'll
gotta
look
be
it up.
Michael Ironside, right?
I think it actually might be Kyle MacLachlan now that I'm thinking about it, because I'm pretty sure he's in it.
Good choice.
But maybe he's not a crime lord. I don't know if I'm getting the
Are you
basic
sure
premise
you're
of
not
this
thinking
movie
of the
right.
Flintstones movie with John Goodman, because I know Kyle MacLachlan was the crime lord.
It was. That's true. And Sharon Stone was in that.
Yeah, played by Halle Berry.
Yeah. But Kyle MacLachlan was in Showgirls. Here's the plot of Showgirls. Nomi, a young drifter, arrives in Vegas to become a dancer and soon sets about clawing and pushing her way to become the top of the Vegas Showgirls. So maybe maybe what he was the casino owner, which is just as good as a gangster if you ask
Did they
me.
mention a casino?
Well, she's in Vegas.
Oh.
That's where the money is.
What was our topic?
The topic is Basic Instinct.
Oh, yeah.
So let's talk about Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone, they're the stars of the movie, Wayne Knight. Great supporting role.
I like that you're bumping him up the third billing.
You want to see? Let's see who actually did get third billing.
I want to see the Basic Instinct poster remade with like a shot of like her sexy legs with just like a hint of crotch, but you can't see because it's underexposed. And you have Michael Douglas, Sharon Stone, and Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight as the cop who sees some vagina. Joe Esterhaus wrote both Basic Instinct and Showgirls. He's a pretty notable screenwriter and writes a lot of like this kind of sleazy thriller movies. So
he's a big old perv.
He's a big old perv. He's like
putting cables in his pee hole.
That's exactly right. All right, you got let's see who's top billing in Basic Instinct. You got Mikey Duggs number 1.
Right.
Sharon S number 2.
And number 3?
George Dzunda.
Who?
George Dzunda.
Who's that?
I don't know. Who's George? He played Gus in the movie. DZUNDZA.
Name sounds familiar. Was he in one of the Dirty Harry movies?
He's known for Basic Instinct. Apparently he's in The Deer Hunter, Crimson Tide, Dangerous Minds. He looks kind of familiar.
Yeah. Not that familiar.
Yeah, apparently he's on Grey's Anatomy as Harold O'Malley.
Oh!
I knew that would be the one that got you.
Why didn't you just say that?
Yeah, so that's kind of it. I don't know. You got anything else you want to say about Basic Instinct?
Maybe Wayne Knight should have got third billing.
Right?
He was the ventriloquist on Batman the Animated Series.
Oh, I thought you meant Wayne Knight for a second. I was going to say
Perry White on Superman. That's a pretty big deal. So we've definitely heard his voice thousands of hours.
Wayne Knight, guess what billing Wayne Knight had?
6th.
No. He was 10th billed.
Ugh.
You know who was 11th billed? Fellow Seinfeld cast member,
Jerry Seinfeld.
Jerry Seinfeld. He played Sharon Stone's vagina. What's the deal with the ice pick killer? No,
why all these penises in me?
No, it was Daniel von Bargen, actually.
Oh,
who played
Kruger.
George's boss, Kruger. He was also in Super Troopers and tragically killed himself.
No, he didn't. He died of cancer, didn't he?
Oh, I thought he killed himself.
Everybody
he attempted
yeah,
suicide.
he like shot
for
himself
sure.
in the head and mucked it up.
Sad story.
And then a bullet gave him brain cancer.
Yeah, in an episode where we've
up.
already talked about all of this horrible X-Men related pornography.
He's
so we
also in
can get into
Robocop
that.
3.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
He goes. Is it him or does he die? I think he might have the line. Oh no, the other guy has the line where he just. It's my favorite line in the movie. I'm pretty sure I brought it up on the show before.
Sure.
Where he just goes, "They're winning, aren't they, Sarge?" When the
You've
freaks-
definitely brought that up. Yeah. And then I see
I think he does die.
12th build in Basic Instinct, just running down the IMDb
Mm-hmm.
page. Another guy who had a notable Seinfeld moment, Stephen Tobolowsky. You know who that is,
Oh yeah,
right?
of course, yeah.
Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day. He played, what was his name? Tor Ekman, right? On Seinfeld. He was the healer who told Jerry he was eating too much dairy.
I just remember him from Heroes. He could turn anything
That's
into
true.
gold. And he
That's
played
true.
Veronica Mars's dad.
That's exactly
Here's
right.
something we've never done on the show. It's something that's a passion of mine that I probably haven't even
All right,
brought
we're
up.
looking up Seinfeld porn,
It's
A Passion of Jack's.
I'll do it.
No, don't.
It's
don't
kind
wanna
of
do
crazy how we've had 120 episodes of podcasts and I haven't brought this up yet. It's something I've wanted to do for a long time and I just don't have the time and don't have the energy.
Okay.
I wanted to do something with this. I'm obsessed with IMDb trivia.
Yeah.
Because some of the, it's a user-generated content. And some of the trivia that is uploaded is barely qualifies as trivia.
Yeah, definitely.
And I don't like to call people on the internet nerds because I'm clearly a huge fucking nerd.
It's true you are.
But I feel like there's a spectrum of nerds, and I feel like there are some that are just, again, for lack of a better word, more pathetic than we are. And you can tell who these nerds are, these uber pathetic nerds, based on the trivia they post. Anyway, usually with a big movie, especially comic book movies, I don't know if Basic Instinct will have it.
Right.
There's usually some very funny trivia, but not trivia posts that somehow made it through. So I'm curious to see what's in there.
So while you were talking, I was a little quiet. It's because I was looking up the trivia for Basic Instinct. I wanted to find the least most interesting trivia for Basic Instinct. And here it is. 0 of 3 people found this interesting.
All right.
Michael Douglas and James Rebhorn, who played Dr. McElwain in
I
this
love
film,
James Rebhorn.
would go on to share more screen time together in the game. 0 of 3 people found it interesting. I find it mildly interesting.
So
I remember James Rebhorn in the game.
That's less amusing trivia.
Oh,
That's
it's a game.
that's less amusing post. Oh, that's him. Yeah.
Yeah, that was him.
That's less amusing than the post I like to find.
Yeah.
But that is a classic example of trivia that's not really trivia. It's like, hey, these 2 actors who acted in hundreds of movies in the same decade happen to also share this other movie.
Right.
Basically, I don't know. I feel like people who just really like the movie go out of their way and just
Sure.
fill up the trivia page with facts. Not
All
even
right.
trivia,
So-
facts.
so
Remember,
here-
trivia is Latin for unimportant. It's
Right.
yeah.
It's supposed to be something mildly
Exactly.
interesting.
Exactly.
Here's something that's not mildly interesting, which is less interesting than the other thing I just read. 7 out of 27 people found this interesting.
Okay.
So that's a pretty bad ratio.
Yeah.
Michael Douglas's character has the same first name (parentheses Nick) as his character in Black Rain, in which he also portrays a cop.
That's it.
In Black Rain, he was Nick Conklin. In Basic Instinct, he's Nick Curran.
I've wanted to watch Black Rain.
So if you wanted to know what movies does Michael Douglas play a cop named Nick, now you know it's Basic Instinct and Black Rain.
I still hope he's up for my spec script that I wrote specifically for Michael Douglas. And
Yeah.
I keep mailing it to him, and he hasn't gotten back to me yet. And it's called A Cop Named Nick. Parentheses, a police story.
Parentheses, you play Nick.
It's
important to just spell it out for him. He's
It's a
getting older.
superhero pornography film.
Yeah. What do you think about Michael Douglas in general?
I love him.
Just as an actor.
Love him. He's
yeah,
great.
I also love
Yeah.
him.
I love Kirk Douglas.
I also love Kirk Douglas. God bless him, still with us, unless he dies between
Yeah.
now and Monday.
Jeez.
He is like 101.
We used to do a death list.
We did.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
It was, a friend of mine interned for SNL, and he told me that the SNL writers staff did this death list. I'm pretty sure other people do it too. But basically it was...
I think they did it on Howard Stern.
Yeah,
also.
every year you pick a bunch of celebrities And then if that celebrity dies, you each pick 20, I think. And if that celebrity dies, you subtract his or her age from 100, and you get that many points.
Right.
So you pick somebody really old, somebody who's 99 years old. You're only going to get 1 point if they die.
Right.
Every year I pick Ben Affleck because I was hoping he would like have a drinking problem and like either get into a
car accident. What do you got against Ben Affleck, Jack?
No, I love Ben Affleck.
He was good as Batman, sort of, in that terrible film.
He's good as Batman. I liked him as Daredevil.
Why'd you say that name?
I'm a big Ben Affleck fan, but he had no drinking problem, so I was
sure.
You have to get those young actors,
right.
And whoever had Philip Seymour Hoffman won that year,
Yeah, right.
You subtract it. So if they're young, you subtract it from 100, you get a shit ton of points.
Right.
And every year I put Kirk Douglas on my list because I was like, God, the guy's like 90. He's getting
easy points.
Every year,
easy 10.
Every time I sign on to Facebook, I'm expecting to see a trending topic.
Yeah.
Kirk Douglas dead. No, he's hanging in there. He had a stroke or something. His voice is all slurred.
I mean, he's not,
But no,
he's not screen ready, let's say. But he's still with us.
Yeah, well, he was smart enough not to eat a lot of pussy like Michael Douglas did, so he hasn't gotten too many forms of.
That's what gives you mouth cancer. Yeah, exactly. Of course. As we all know. But I like Michael Douglas. I like Kirk Douglas. Did Michael Douglas have a son?
Yeah, the three of them starred in a movie together. It wasn't.
Who's his son? Is his son anyone?
Doug.
Doug Douglas. Yeah. I thought it was Chip Douglas from My Three Dads.
It's something or other. I don't
know.
Actually, he's in jail, right?
I don't know.
I think he's in jail.
Are they going to break him out using that tiny tank from Ant-Man?
No, I think he's actually a drug addict. So
all right.
Really sad.
Then, Michael Douglas is not listening to this, so I don't feel bad.
Oh, boy.
But if you are listening, Michael Douglas, I thought you were terrific in Ant-Man.
He was all right.
Romancing the Stone, great movie.
I just rewatched Captain America: Civil War.
Great movie.
Yeah, it's all right.
Great movie.
And there's a line that really stuck out to me as like, they could have snuck that in a little bit better.
Yeah,
but
which one?
So they're all in. They already had the airport fight.
Right, the big battle.
The Captain America side. Spoilers for Civil War. The Captain America side has lost. They're all locked up in an underwater prison.
Right.
And the winner, Tony Stark, is like circling around them and trying to talk to them, and they're all mocking him because they're pissed off that he beat them.
Tony walks to each cell, and each character gets a little scene with him.
Jeremy Renner calls him the Futurist, which is somewhat mocking Robert Downey Jr.'s real life music album called The Futurist.
Oh, yeah. I knew that, but I didn't know that.
Yeah, and Paul Rudd goes...
Jack, that's mildly interesting.
There you go. 1 out of 1
1 out of 1 people found that interesting.
I like that. And so anyway, Paul Rudd, who... I'm a big Paul Rudd fan. I think Ant-Man is really overrated, and one of my biggest problems with Paul Rudd is when he's too Paul Rudd.
I completely disagree. I really like Ant-Man.
And I like a lot of Ant-Man, but I think Paul Rudd was too Paul Rudd in Ant-Man and kind of ruined it. And I think he, to a lesser extent, the same problems in Civil War.
Sure.
He was a little bit more likable. But the Ant-Man Paul Rudd being too Paul Rudd problem reared its head in this one line.
Sure.
Actually, no. It's really
I think I know what line it is.
Yeah, he just goes,
continue.
Hank Pym said, "Never trust
a
Stark."
Yeah.
I'm just like, see? Remember Michael Douglas?
Remember that movie?
Ties into the
Connections.
MCU.
The Marvel universe is all connected.
Yeah, I just like it was just like, come on, they could have done it a little bit better.
I mean, you have to do something.
Hank Pym said, "Stop." That was the line.
I like that he's turning into some sort of like overweight capitalist. Hank Pym said, "Never fucking stop."
He's got a big cigar, like half of a cigar in his mouth. Hank Pym.
A sled named Rosebud next to him. Right. Oh boy.
Citizen Kane never talked like that.
Sure he did. Well, Orson Welles did.
He didn't talk like a big Hollywood fat.
Yes, he did. Clearly, when it was essence for fake. He's moving about
Unicron in the Transformers movie.
No, he was the entire planet in that movie.
Robot.
I'm going to destroy all the Autobots and the Decepticons.
Looks like this was a touch of evil.
I love that titular line from Touch of Evil. No one ever saw the third man.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and others.
Breaking news. We have to break into this 90s Percentile podcast. Martians have just invaded New Jersey. We're cutting now to the scientists, Dr. Orson Welles.
Oh, my humanity! They're everywhere, coming down the street.
All right, there's rioting in the streets. It looks like, oh my God, they've got a giant tripod of sorts. Doctor, is there anything our American military can do against these robotic monsters.
We'll just have to go inside and eat a whole cake to make ourselves feel better. The world is destroyed.
All right, I have to step in here. I'm
okay,
afraid people are going to think this is real.
Okay, yeah, this is not.
They're going to go to their doomsday bunkers.
Halloween's coming up. This was just a little bit of fun on 90s Percentile.
We did say at the top of the show this was a fictional broadcast.
Right, we didn't actually look at any cable-related pornography earlier. So.
No, that was strictly from our imagination.
Yeah, we just made up Cyclops fucking his father in the butt.
Put a cable in your pee hole.
I think that's it for Basic Instinct. What about you, Jack?
Yeah,
you want to
sure.
get another topic?
Let's see. Well, I haven't checked the timer in a while. I don't know if these
I have
Facebook
no idea how much
comments
time
are
we have.
refreshing or if just everybody abandoned ship.
Yeah, we haven't got a lot of comments, but we also didn't really announce that we were going to do this.
I know. I like Periscope better.
I know you do. You've been very vocal about liking Periscope better.
I'm trying to be open-minded. Please, I'm not one of those people. I really am trying to be open-minded. It's just like pretty much it's giving me nothing to work with here.
Yeah, I hear you. All right, Jack, how much
Zero
time?
of one Facebook users uninterested.
How much time do we have left on the old?
We have on the old.
Because I have our next topic.
Time ticker. 29 minutes and 08 seconds.
Oh man! All right, so our next topic.
We're only halfway done with this.
Well, they say that I think
atrocity.
The theory of relativity was the closer you are to looking at cable porn, the slower time goes.
I've seen Interstellar.
Yeah, we all know that love is the fifth element or whatever.
They had a cable and pee hole expert.
It's true, they
Kip
did.
Thorne work on the entire movie to make sure that the physics of putting
God.
cables and pee holes were right. Now, look, I can see on the phone these are.
We are getting more. We can't see the comments anymore.
Thank you,
so I don't know what
Zach.
happened,
We
but
appreciate it that you're kind of there. But yeah, no, the big screen for some reason is not updating these comments. Probably because, again, Periscope is a nice video with
Periscope's
the
a lot
comments
better.
Popping up on the thing.
But we're not here to talk about our Periscope, Jack. We're here to talk about 90s topics, and I have the next one. And
it's Periscope, down Periscope,
it's
the
down
Kelsey Grammer movie.
A Kelsey Grammer joint. It's not, although we could talk about that if you want.
I would like to call it Up Periscope because I'm more down on Facebook tonight.
That's true. That's very true. No, I have our topic, and it is something that
Kevin from Seoul.
You know next to nothing about.
Oh, great.
It's actually from Anthony Dolan.
Is it the clitoris?
No. that's next episode, so come back for that. It is WWF versus WCW, the Monday Night Wrestling Wars.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Now, Jack, what does that mean to you?
All right.
Does that mean anything to you?
So, I know that the
You know a little bit about wrestling. I know that.
Yeah, I know.
We've been to wrestling events together.
I was born and raised in the age of Hulkamania.
It's true. Hulkamania has ended, by the way.
Oh, really?
Well, you know
I thought he won that lawsuit.
Well, he won the lawsuit, but all that racist stuff came out, and he was kind of...
Racist? I thought it was a sex tape.
Are you drastically unfamiliar with the details of that case?
I just thought he sued somebody about a sex tape.
He did sue somebody. He sued Gawker about a sex tape, and Gawker is now going out of business.
Comments aren't working.
Don't worry about that. Fuck the we can't see your comments, but it doesn't matter if you're listening to this as a podcast, which the vast majority of you are.
I can see him very far away on a small screen.
Hulk Hogan, yes, had a sex tape which Gawker released, but they released snippets of it, and the longer version of it included these not good things where he's talking about his daughter, Brooke, and what he would do if she were dating a certain type of person.
He's doing this while he's having sex?
No, I think this was either before or after.
I like to talk about...
You don't include hate speech in your lovemaking?
I specifically say, if we ever have kids... The following races I don't want them to do.
And this is mid-thrust.
No, it's one race per thrust.
Got it.
You know, like blacks.
Some people
Blacks,
think of baseball to, slow things down in the bedroom, and you're listing out the races you are not a
one race per thrust.
Absolutely.
Unless it's like a multi-syllabic phrase, like Native Americans takes four,
that gets a couple of thrusts?
4 racist thrusts.
Okay. How many racist thrusts does it take to get to the center? Let the zero pop.
It depends on how much I've had to drink.
The world will never know. So
a 1, a 2, Asians.
Oh boy. You had to pick the biggest minority.
I was trying to think of like a racial slur that rhymed with 3, and I was like, well, I still shouldn't say it.
Yeah, no, you should not.
So I just said Asians.
I think that's fine. Apologies to our Asian listeners.
Oh, that's fine.
It's fine.
3 billion people.
It's okay. It's okay. No, so Hulk Hogan's kind of career kind of ended with that. I believe
he's not wrestling anymore.
He hasn't been wrestling for a while, but he was still a pretty active part of the WWE universe.
Well, their standards are very high.
They are extremely high, actually. I will not have
Donald Trump's a big supporter of the WWE.
Donald Trump, that was at least a decade ago, and they've come leaps and bounds since then.
He's a class act back then.
He's our future president.
I shouldn't badmouth.
He's got my vote.
I shouldn't badmouth Facebook on Facebook Live, and I shouldn't badmouth President Trump and a Trump presidency.
No, but it's true that Donald Trump was involved in the WWE in a couple of capacities.
So, speaking of WWE, so what do you
know about the WWF?
So I know
WCW Monday Night Wars. What do you know?
So WWF was when I was growing up, that was wrestling.
Sure.
The World Wrestling Federation?
That's correct.
Okay. They had to change their name legally to WWE because the World Wildlife Fund.
Yeah.
All right, so now they're WWE. To me, they're WWF.
Yeah.
And then at some point, so the reason I know WCW versus, what was it, NWO?
WCW, though the NWO was a big part of it.
Okay, what was the other one?
It's WWF and WCW.
Oh, that's what the topic is.
Yeah, the Monday Night Wars between those two.
Oh,
there was also
I'm
ECW.
Surprised that there's a Monday Night Wars because honestly, this is my impression was that the WWF was like split up like a turn of the century monopoly into the WCW and the NWO. Because
you're confusing a bunch of different things.
Because all of a sudden I didn't see WWF on TV anymore.
Right.
And I'm basing this mostly on Nintendo 64 games. Because that's really the only the only input of wrestling I was getting in the 90s was from the N64 games.
Which were very good games.
And that was WCW, NWO, and I want to say something called Nitro is popping up in my head.
Nitro, okay, so...
And I'm not talking about the American Gladiator.
No, not him. That was actually pretty good. You knew more than I thought you did.
Excuse me.
I thought you were a big dumbass.
Well, I know. I can also.
About wrestling.
I can also name several late '90s wrestlers because 90% of our buddies on my AIM buddy list use wrestlers as their screen names.
I want you to name me some late '90s wrestlers. Go.
Right. So,
what do you got?
I remember there's a friend of ours named Chris. You don't like me to use last name,
so you shouldn't do that.
I won't say it.
Yeah.
His was a wrestling name that I can't remember anymore. Right?
I can't. I think so.
Good friend of ours, Rob.
Yeah.
Who actually I've talked about yesterday, because I had to sit through a very dark. An FBI agent came to my college and talked to the staff
about. Where's the story going?
Well, it talked about what to do in a mass shooting, like if.
Okay, sure.
And basically, the rule is again we've brought up on the show how I sit in the front desk in front of the elevator.
Right, giving out the Wi-Fi password.
So the rule is. When somebody gets off the elevator and shoots me in the head and kills me,
oh my god!
Everybody else should use that as a signal to run. That's what this FBI agent basically said.
That's horrible.
Anyway, it was a 2-hour seminar, and we were watching not live video. We were watching video of
like
mass
shootings.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
We all needed.
That's worse than the cable. It
was very heavy. We were not expecting. We were expecting like a boring PowerPoint presentation, which it also was. Anyway, it reminded me of a time where I and some other people, I won't name, one of them was Dan, we wrote a kill list of people in the school we wanted to kill as a joke, and then put it in this other individual's backpack, and then told on him and said, hey teacher, I think this guy's trying to kill a bunch of people.
We were not good people.
No, this was a horrible prank. Horrible prank. Anyway, his screen name was also a wrestler.
I like how we're having this conversation about wrestling and you just have to do this side talk about how you and I were horrible people in high school.
Well, you mean we were teenagers?
Yeah, well, that's true. Teenagers are the worst.
No, we know better now.
Sorry, Left Foot, you're listening and you're a teenager.
Unlike most of the people we went to school with who are still of that mindset.
Yeah, well, that's
true.
They're
in their mid-30s now. It's kind of sad.
Anyway, name me some wrestlers, Jack.
So I remember his was a wrestling screen name.
He did. He had a number of wrestling references.
I'm getting thrown off because a lot of people put X's and stuff in the middle. There were a lot of X's and stuff. So that throws me off.
Yeah.
And on Palace. We were on Palace a lot. I remember a lot of wrestling names on Palace.
Yeah, for sure. Wrestling was white hot popular.
That was I would say that was the number one source of screen names.
It was
for boys.
Yeah, for like high school age boys, wrestling was so popular. A lot of sissy goes, just you, Jack. Wrestling was so popular in the late 90s because of the Monday Night Wars. But we're getting off topic, which is I want to hear you name some wrestlers.
Okay, all right.
You said Hulk Hogan, so that's one.
Oh, so you remember I can name like the 80s ones.
Well, I mean, Hulk Hogan was still an active wrestler in the late 90s.
All right, because
he wrestled well through the 2000s.
And Jake the Snake and Bret Hart and
Andre the Giant was
Owen
dead.
Hart and...
Owen Hart died in the late 90s. I watched it happen live on pay-per-view.
He died live on pay-per-view?
Oh,
I thought it was in a practice session.
No, it was not. Okay.
This was the crane or something?
Sidebar. He was doing this gimmick where he was playing this superhero called the Blue Blazer, where he was dropping from the sky, basically. Right. And so there was a malfunction, and he dropped from the sky, and his harness wasn't fastened properly, so he just dropped.
Oh my god.
He dropped into the ring, and it was just like...
Did the whole arena go...
Yeah, pretty much, and...
How old were you?
This was...
I don't know if
I think this was 97?
I can't think of
98?
I can't think of... I don't know if I've ever watched anybody die live.
Well, he didn't die right away. Like, he was alive. They rushed him to the back.
Suffered
and then, that's exactly right.
That's good.
And the worst thing about that is that the show still went on.
Oh my god.
I remember this vividly. Jim Ross, who was a WWE announcer at the time.
Reruns a coach, for Christ's sake.
Well, it was a pay-per-view. So, people paid to watch it. This was before WWE
Don't you
Network.
think people would be like
people would understand, I think.
Right?
Yeah, but...
Did they get in trouble for this?
I mean, they were absolutely sued by his family, and I'm sure they paid a lot of money.
I bet you before...
There was a lot of acrimony with Bret Hart.
They got sued because the
wrong
harness didn't work.
Yeah.
I was saying nobody gave him shit to continue broadcasting?
I think... I don't know... They certainly... It was frowned upon.
I don't know. We recorded an episode of 90s Percentile where Bryce died, and we haven't aired it to this day. Nobody knows about that.
But that's fine.
And it was a great episode.
No one will miss Bryce.
We talked about Teen Angel.
Yeah, we did. And when it was ironic, because then Bryce came back as an angel. And he was like, I'm not even a teen.
That was what happened.
That was it. But yeah, no, Owen Hart died, and I remember right before the main event, Jim Ross was just like, ladies and gentlemen, Owen Hart has died.
Oh.
And he was very upset.
I thought you said he didn't die right away.
He didn't die right away. They rushed him to the back.
Later.
Well, it wasn't like right afterwards. It was like, we'll give you an update, and the show kept going. Pay-per-views was like 3 hours.
Jesus Christ.
And they did the main event. I don't remember what it was. It was Stone Cold versus somebody.
So you said Owen Hart died,
by the way,
and then they did more.
Stone Cold's a wrestler.
And Stone Cold. And they did more fighting.
Yeah.
Wait, we went to a wrestling match with Stone Cold. Okay, so The Rock was there.
The Rock, there you go. It's a good one.
I went to a recording of Celebrity Who Wants a Millionaire with a Mankind.
Yeah. Mick Foley, I saw him at New York Comic Con, actually.
That's another one. Cactus Jack, that's another one.
Well, they're all the same person, but that's okay.
Oh, God, there's one I'm really thinking of. I can picture the Palace avatar with the screen name and...
There's a really big one. Maybe it's the one you're trying to think of. He's a tall guy.
John Cena, The
Rock.
Rock.
Dark. John Cena a little later.
Undertaker.
Undertaker was the one I was trying to get at, yeah.
He's walking on crutches now. It's a Facebook trending topic.
Yeah, I saw that. He is 51.
The Buddha?
Yep, the Buddha.
Is that real?
Nope. No, it's not.
The Xenomorph?
Yep. The Xenomorph versus the actual Buddha was one of the best things that WWE ever did.
Batman, parentheses, the wrestler, not the superhero.
Yeah, legally distinct. Actually, you say that as a joke, but WCW in the early 90s actually had Arachnaman, who was like...
Oh, I know why our comments... I'm sorry. Our TV just went blank, and now I know why the comments aren't updating. We're not playing the video.
Oh, yeah, that should probably...
Yeah, it was just,
that's the thing.
It was just on plus.
There actually was Arachnaman. Actually, Robocop was also a wrestler briefly in WCW.
How's that allowed?
I have no... Well, it was like licensed. It was like actual Robocop is coming to WCW.
Did he just take a gun out of his leg and shoot all the wrestlers?
Yeah, he did, and that's why he was banned. That was the first great wrestling genocide.
He shot Owen Hart.
That was it, and that's what happened.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robocop has killed Owen Hart.
Oh boy. I don't like making light of Owen Hart. Vince McMahon, the owner of the WWE.
Jerry Lawler,
yes, wrestler turned announcer.
Oh, it's really driving me nuts.
That's another one, actually. Jerry Lawler, someone recently had a heart attack on the air.
Really?
Yeah, and he was rushed to the back.
Real?
It was totally real.
Because I feel like he's done a few fake wrestling matches in his day.
Maybe he and Andy Kaufman had a little thing back on David Letterman's show. Depicted in the movie.
Butthole juice.
Maybe they put some butthole juice in each other's mouths. We don't know. But yeah, that was another scary Owen Hart-esque moment.
Oh man, it's driving.
That was a couple of years ago.
Stinger?
Sting, yes. Sting was one. Was that the one you were trying to think of with all the Palace avatars?
No, there's one that's driving me nuts. What was Chris's, who sat behind me in class? You don't want me to say his last name.
I know who you're talking about. I just can't remember his screen name. Was it NWO related? Because the NWO was a huge thing in the late 90s.
I don't know. I don't know. There's a wrestler.
Road Dogg.
That is one of them, yes.
Yes, that was part of Degeneration X, which is, I think, what you were trying to think of with those X's before.
Yeah, okay.
So they were like WWF's bad boys, and they like made fun of things and like smacked their crotches around.
Our friend Robert, who is a great guy, and we feel terrible for the way we treated him.
He's not listening. You don't have to say
I know. Well, no, I do regret.
I know.
He was a good guy.
High school makes monsters of us all.
Without saying what his screen name is, so people don't go look him up. What was his screen name? What did it mean?
So he had a screen name that was an amalgamation of different WWE factions, which is what, or stables really, which is what a group of wrestlers.
And what did he alternate the letters?
Were affiliated. No, he had it all. It was all there. It was he had KS, which stood for Ken Shamrock, who was a wrestler. He was an MMA.
You still watch this?
He was a
31-year-old man.
Of course I do. He was an MMA fighter turned wrestler, turned back to MMA fighter. Actually, he still does MMA now. The Nation of Domination, which was a kind of like a Black Islam group of black wrestlers. The Rock was a part of it.
That seems very apolitical.
It was interesting at the time.
The Rock was part of it?
The Rock was part of this, yeah. But when he was still Rocky Maivia before he became The Rock as we know and love him now. And yeah, it was 4 black wrestlers.
What were they called? The Farrakhan's?
Well, one of them was named Farouk, who was very much like a Farrakhan type.
Did he wear like?
But it was the Nation of Domination.
Like a tie?
Yeah. Well, no, a little bit. He wore like State of Africa
heavy.
kind of stuff. Yeah.
Black Panthers.
Sort of, but...
Is there a Ku Klux Klan faction?
There wasn't, but Degeneration X was also part of our friend's screen name, and they were all white wrestlers who dressed up in blackface one night to make fun of the Nation of Domination, and this was 1997, 98 probably.
I feel like our buddy Rob would not be supportive of that.
Yeah.
I guess he was a racist the whole time. I guess he deserved that death list we put in his backpack.
He didn't.
And the chunks of heart we took out of our biolab.
Alright, we don't need to get into all the horrible things that we did in high school, Jack. But yes, we did dissect a cow heart.
Ace duck.
I didn't do that. That was not me. That was another friend named Rob, whose name I will not mention.
Really?
Yes.
I thought it was you.
I don't even know what to say. I want to talk about wrestling.
Alright, so what's WCW stand for?
What do you think it stands for?
Alright, so WWF is World Wrestling Federation.
Correct.
Okay, WCW, one of the W's is also wrestling?
One of the W's is wrestling.
The first W?
No.
Third W.
The third W, which is really the second W.
World Class Wrestling.
Close. World Championship Wrestling.
Okay, that makes sense.
So basically, here's the entire thing in a nutshell. Ted Turner owned WCW.
Oh, big fan.
And Vince McMahon owned a WWF, and they were rivals and feuding. And they both had shows on Monday nights. And WWF started first. They had Monday Night Raw. And so WCW came out with a show
Turner
called...
owns WWF?
No, they owned WCW.
Oh.
Now WWE owns all of it, but that's besides the point. So WWF had WWF Monday Night Raw. So WCW
What's the
started...
Raw stand for? Like no condoms? Or...
Absolutely. They were raw dogging it every night.
Sticking cables in
they're doing it. But WCW started Monday Nitro.
Oh, like night...
Tro.
What's the tro?
Well, it was just Monday Nitro, like the word Nitro.
So if I'm... Wait, who did Monday Nitro?
That was WCW, yeah.
So, reverse situations, I'm Vince McMahon, I'm actually... don't have the pre-existing league. I'm the smaller player. I create a new football league. Let's call it the XFL.
Yeah.
All right. So I want to compete directly with Monday Night Football. How do I pump it up? I call it the Monday Nitro Football.
You could do that. That's one thing you could do.
That's what Nitro is literally just a more pumped up version of the word night.
I guess, basically. I think it's just supposed to sound like, oh, did you watch Monday Night Raw? Like, which one did I say? You don't even know.
Oh, it's a copyright thing.
Well, I think it's supposed to sound alike, and they're on at the exact same time.
So they could have done something like, they could have just called it Mondoy Night.
I suppose, but there's no day called Mondoy. So people would be confused as to when you watch the show.
Did you see that Mondoy fight?
I did see the Mondoy fight. It was good. But anyway...
I mean, maybe like a Jamaican who... from the 90s who was being very sarcastic and was like, Mondoy?
Nope. I'm not following you I'm not following you with you down this path. I want to talk about wrestling.
Alright, you got 10 minutes.
So, alright, I'll just talk about wrestling for 10 minutes and you do what you're doing.
I might have to go pee.
Alright.
I've drank a lot of Coors Lights during this recording.
That's totally fine.
Facebook Live has stressed me the fuck out.
Absolutely.
Periscope's better.
So basically, WWF at the time had a number of stars who left and came to WCW, and there was this angle that they did. An angle is like a wrestling story where they were like invading WCW, and they never specifically said they were coming from the WWF, but that's how it was treated. Like, oh my God, it's these guys. What are they? We all know who this is. Like that kind of a thing, because they couldn't legally say what their names were in WWF.
So if I'm Vince McMahon,
that became the New World Order.
I'm Vince McMahon. I create XFL.
Yeah.
It would be like if I got, say, Jerry Rice. And,
Sure.
You know, he's kind of too old now. He can't really. You know, I'm talking late '90s. I'm not talking
Right.
now.
Not now, Jerry
Rice is too old for the NFL. I hire him. I go, hey, you want to be a big shot in my XFL?
Right.
And the football audience is going to be like, oh shit, Jerry Rice.
Basically, yeah. Which is, well, they'd done that with Hulk Hogan. They brought him in as Hulk Hogan, like he kept his name and
He was
everything.
Hollywood Hogan, right?
He
For a while?
became Hollywood Hogan when he was a heel. That's wrestling term for a bad guy.
Oh, he became a villain?
Yeah, oh yeah, for a number of years. And then he said a bunch of racist things. And
Now
in
he's
real
good
life,
again.
real life heel turn. And now he's good again, did you say? Oh, goodness. Oh, boy.
That's what I understood from this Gawker lawsuit, that he was the good guy in this situation.
Well, there really are no good guys in that situation. Maybe Peter Thiel is a good guy. Because he banged for old Hulk Hogan.
Bullying the media and pretty
Well,
much showing that money can destroy the Fifth Estate.
Gawker...
Yeah, he's the
all
good
right,
guy.
Okay. I'm fascinated by the Gawker
I'm terrible
case.
for saying Hulk Hogan's a good guy despite being racist.
Gawker outed Peter Thiel
Right.
years earlier, so he
It's-
had it against them.
yeah.
Gawker was a garbage site for
Right.
garbage people.
The thing
It
is,
wasn't journalistic
I
to
know.
release the Hulk Hogan
I
sex
know.
tape.
I'm
That
just
was
saying it's
a race to the
very
bottom.
dangerous precedent for a billionaire to pretty much
I understand
destroy a media outlet.
I understand that.
You know, I'm just thinking of other billionaires in the news lately who might use their money
I
to
don't know
silence
who you're talking about.
the media.
Unrelated to that, I heard that Donald Trump, if he loses the election, I should say, he might be starting his own media empire, like a news network type thing.
I believe the conspiracy theory, if not pretty much fact,
Is that all of this was
he literally
subterfuge.
said he was going to run for president as a promotion for his rival to Fox News, not a rival to CNN, not a rival to MSNBC.
Right.
It was like basically there's room for a second conservative movement, a more Tea Party, a more populist.
Sure.
I mean, Jesus, as much as I hate the guy, I certainly agree with his politics more than most of the conservative
With
view.
Trump's politics?
With more than the conservative view that Fox News pushes. I would say that the
Interesting.
populism bent is more likable.
Well,
Trump himself, I would never vote for.
I'll say this, though. That is a very much...
But
very reminiscent of these Monday Night Wars.
His goal was to be fourth in the election, in the Republican primary.
Sure.
He said, if I make fourth, we should have the numbers to launch this campaign.
Right.
And then at some point, he's like, holy shit, I think I can win this
I could
thing.
actually win this thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we all suffer for it. But that's very
That
much...
was that's how We Studio started. We were just trying to be the fourth most popular podcast
Yeah, and we are
in
now...
America. And then all of a sudden, we just
And
destroyed
now we're number
Serial.
one.
We destroyed NPR politics.
It's
We
amazing.
Terry Gross was crushed under our feet.
It's true.
And now we're just
Suck
going to
it,
stop
Terry.
doing this. We have no idea
I know,
what we're doing. We don't even
we don't know how to use Facebook Live at all. But I like the, as much as I don't really like Donald Trump, him starting his own news agency and going direct with Fox is exactly what these Monday Night Wars. It's the same exact thing.
But
and it's mostly driven by these egos of these rich people.
That's what I'm saying. I'm Vince McMahon. Right?
Yeah, Vince McMahon. Yeah,
Vince McMahon. I was trying not to say Vince McVaughn.
It's not Vince McMahon.
So man, these beers are creeping up on me.
Yeah.
I'm so drunk. Never mind.
I know what you're
That's
doing,
just for me and Dan.
but we're not going to explain it.
Yeah, that's I lost my train of thought now because I am drunk.
You said Vince McMahon. I don't know where you were going with this.
So I'm Vince McMahon. I've got the most popular wrestling league, WWF.
Yeah.
I've got the name recognition. I've got
Sure.
the stars.
Yep.
Why would I help WCW out by competing with them?
He didn't help WCW out. WCW went to him and was competing with him.
So WWF versus WCW isn't.
This wasn't like a sanctioned thing. This was just like...
I thought this was like a 2-hour show where you had the WWF wrestlers.
No,
like the
no.
Marvel versus DC.
No, not at all.
This is just like late night wars. This is
Yeah,
just
exactly.
tables arguing.
Absolutely.
Oh,
It's the same exact
that's
thing.
way less fun. Wait, so what was the Nintendo 64 games then?
Well, there was WCW versus NWO. That's probably what
They're
you're
both under the same.
Yeah, so the NWO was Hollywood Hulk Hogan and Scott Hall and Kevin
They're
Nash.
the bad guys?
They were the bad guys.
So it's like Justice League versus League of Doom?
Kind of, but the League of Doom were like badasses who you would recognize from like Marvel or something. It would be like if Spider-Man and Captain... Well, maybe not Spider-Man, but if like Hawkeye and some other...
Scarlet Widow.
Yeah, Scarlet Widow. Scarlet Witch, we'll say.
Scarlet Witch.
If they came over to DC and they never said like, oh, it's Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch, but they like clearly were.
So he changed his name to Hollywood Hogan because he's no longer in the WWF. He was in the WCW and NWO.
No, that would be like if Iron Man came to DC and was like, hey guys, I'm Iron Man, and then like his friends Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch came and they were bad guys, and then suddenly it was revealed like, psych, I'm Iron like Nazi or something.
Maybe it's the several silver bullets I've had tonight. I'm not.
My comic book analogy doesn't dumb it down for you.
I'm kind of getting more confused.
All right, well, Iron Man was not part of the Monday Night Wars. I'll say that.
I'm surprised it wasn't like if there was a Batman.
Yeah, they did a documentary series. So ultimately, what happened is WCW was winning. They had higher ratings than WWF. WWF was going down the crapper, and then WWF was able to turn it around in large part to Stone Cold and The Rock and D-Generation X. And eventually, WCW completely went off the rails, went bankrupt. WWF bought them.
Where they go? How do you go off the rails?
Oh man, I think we saw a little movie called Ready to Rumble.
Yeah,
that was part of it.
Oh, they financed the movie.
Yeah, well, that was a WCW movie. All WCW wrestlers were in it. And if you remember, David Arquette was in that movie.
But how does an entire sports league suddenly lose its loyalty?
So David Arquette was in this movie, Ready to Rumble, right?
I remember we saw it.
In real life, David Arquette became the champion of WCW, which, you know, it's all made up and stuff.
Scream.
Right, but it's like it still means something to actual wrestling fans.
So wrestling fans literally just stopped watching.
WCW did increasingly weird and stupid and ill-advised ideas.
So again, going with these metaphors, I'm MLB.
Sure.
Baseball ratings going down the shitter because people are listening to podcasts now about the 90s.
Right. Well, of course they are.
So I hire, let's say, who plays McPoyle in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Jimmy Simpson.
Jimmy Simpson.
Now on Westworld.
So now he's on Westworld. So I hire Jimmy Simpson. I say,
by the way, I have a Westworld theory to talk to you about. We'll talk after.
Off air. So
Watch Westworld,
I hire Jimmy Simpson and I say, I want you to star in a movie about baseball.
Yeah.
And then in real life, I also want you to join the league and be this fictional baseball player called El Jimmy O. And you're gonna help promote the league because you're in these popular movies and TV shows at the moment.
I lost everything that we're talking about.
He's the David Arquette.
So he's okay. Yeah. Basically.
So MLB basically hires, and I picked Jimmy Simpson because I was trying to think of somebody who was in a Scream type movie, and he was in a Scream type movie like 9 years ago, and it was the only
what movie?
It was with Malcolm in the Middle. There was a video game that came alive. Yeah.
Video gamer?
No, I don't know.
Video games.
I couldn't think of anybody who was in a slasher movie that's actually famous.
Okay, sure.
Because I don't watch them anymore. They're all just like dumb teen movies.
All right, interesting.
Anyway, so they hire an actor.
Jimmy Simpson's a good actor,
so let's not say Jimmy Simpson.
All right.
MLB hires Kevin Spacey.
Okay, sure.
They say, Kevin Spacey, we want you to make a movie about the MLB where you're a fan and you kidnap
Denzel Washington.
No, who's a real. I guess Oliver Platt's not a real wrestler. All right, fine. They kidnap Denzel Washington, who's playing a fictional baseball player.
Okay.
Then they say, Kevin Spacey, we also want you to be a fictional baseball player called the champion pitcher, and we want you to actually pitch in baseball games?
Sort of, yeah, kind of.
And then all the MLB players go, I'm done.
Yeah, basically. That's a pretty decent analogy.
So now what's left? Just WWE?
Well, yeah, no, but WWE bought WCW and also ECW, which was a smaller rival.
What's ECW?
That was Extreme
European?
Championship Wrestling.
Oh.
That's a whole other topic that we don't have enough time. We got
90s?
70 seconds left. Oh, yeah.
Right.
And I have a lot of first-hand experience
I'm sure
with
Dan
ECW.
from Seoul,
I think it's in there. I've been to ECW live shows back in the day. When I was like 12, I was in a riot.
Oh my God!
And related to ECW.
Was anybody with you? Was your parents?
Actually, a friend of the show, Dan Ozzie, was with me.
You went
So-
together as 12-year-olds?
Yeah.
There was
We
no.
went on a little date.
There's no chaperone.
I think my brother may have also been there,
It's like
but yeah.
Barton Millhouse. And,
Yeah, kind of.
Right.
It was, but I'm sure ECW will be a topic later.
Okay.
If not, someone will suggest it. But
Sure.
we'll talk about that later. But yeah, now WWE owns WCW and ECW, and TNA is kind of the only.
Like tits and hands.
Yeah, so
It's
WCW.
30 seconds left.
The remnants of WCW kind of reformed into TNA, which was always
Terrible
like.
name.
Yeah, it's total nonstop action, Jack.
Oh, okay.
It's not TNA, like, even though they had a division called the Knockouts, which were all scantily
Was
clad women.
PNS taken?
Yeah, it was taken by cable. We saw the pictures before.
How do you pee through the cable? I guess it's just a catheter.
I don't think that's something
Is there
you live
I
with.
feel like there's an X-Men mutant name for every mutant. Is there a catheter? Is there a mutant called catheter?
Not yet, Marvel.
I'll write it. I'm gonna write it.
Call me Marvel. All right, guys. That's it for this episode of 90s Percentile. Before we wrap up the show, Jack, I'm going to turn to you. I'm sure you learned a lot today.
I did learn a lot.
What did you learn? If you had to pick one thing, what's the most interesting thing you learned today?
I learned that WWF versus WCW was an informal title for like a late night wars type of thing. It's
True.
not an actual event that ever existed.
Right.
Like the Battle of the Network Stars.
That's
or
right.
Marvel versus DC.
That's correct. Yeah, I learned that I don't want to Google cable X-Men porn ever again, and that, I should have known this already, but the breadth of X-Men pornography on the internet is vast.
We just looked up cable.
Yeah.
We just looked up one.
Like,
Can you imagine if I looked
you
up
Google
Wolverine?
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm sure Google will explode.
Do you think Family Feud, number one answer, Wolverine is the most porn...
Most porn X-Men or
most
most
porn
porn
X-Men.
comic book character?
Most porn to X-Men.
Yes.
More than, I guess, Cyclops.
Cyclops, yeah.
Well, Storm, maybe the girls. Storm.
Maybe the ladies. But
Because
I
most
feel
of
like...
the porn, a lot of the porn we saw was gay or bisexual.
Right, I think they call it slash. Slash,
yeah.
right? Slash fic.
I'm guessing the heterosexual porn, I bet you there's a lot of... would it be Storm? Would it be Jean Grey?
Maybe it's the two of them at once. Who knows?
Who's like an underage X-Men? I feel like that would probably be also up there.
Kitty Pryde back in the
What's
day,
the creepiest?
Jubilee.
What's the creepiest? Yeah, it's probably like a Jubilee Kitty Pride.
I guarantee you there's Jubilee Wolverine porn out there, and I don't want to see it. So
No,
don't
I'm
send
not
it to
gonna
me.
do
We
it.
don't want to know.
But you're saying there'd be another, more than Wolverine, there'd be a superhero. Superman? Batman?
Superman and Batman, probably together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guarantee you can find that.
So Batman v Superman, the V is not standing for
Oh,
versus.
Guys, that's it for this episode of 90s Percentile. I want to thank everyone who watched on Facebook Live. You can probably at some point check this episode out
Might
on
be our last
our
Facebook
YouTube.
Live ever, 'cause
It
it's
might be. We'll
kinda
see.
shitty.
We didn't really care for it. And if you want more episodes of the show, if somehow this is your first one and you're not turned off completely, go to wepodcast.com. That's weepodcast.com. You can get all the old episodes of 90s Percentile, all future episodes, as well as our other show, Worst Episode Ever, and our Sync Points movie commentary series, which we hope to do another one soon.
Maybe by election day if
Yeah,
we
maybe.
can.
We'll see.
It's not just movies. We also have Puchinsky, the
That's
TV
true.
series.
We did do one pilot that aired in 1990, so
There you go.
check that out. And you can follow us on Twitter. We're at Studios Pod.
Yeah, so that's short
At
for
Studios
podcast.
Pod. We also got at 90s Percentile, but I personally am at Then Dan Says.
And I'm personally at Jackie No Breaks.
And if you want to help support the show, go to amazon.wepodcast.com. Just shop like you normally would.
Buy your Halloween candy.
Yeah, for sure.
I just bought, not on Amazon, but their rival.
you bastard.
But on their rival jet.com.
Ugh.
I'm a big Amazon supporter, huge Amazon supporter.
Don't plug the rival. We're going to bleep that
I'm
out.
only using jet.com for 3 purchases because I got a thing in the mail that gave me like 50%
sure.
off. And then I'm going right back to Amazon.
Right back to
Anyway,
Amazon.
I bought a bunch of candy bars for Halloween. And
Okay.
I'm giving out this year, if you want to come to Wii Studios, full-size candy bars.
Full bars?
Well, here's the thing.
Whoa. I didn't know you were making full bars money, Jack.
I purposely came home to give out candy to the trick-or-treaters because I'm a big Halloween fan.
Yeah.
It's probably my favorite holiday. And for the last 3 years, not one person came and rang my bell.
I was going to say, we don't get anyone in my apartment.
Yeah.
Like, no one comes to my
I have
building.
plenty of kids in my building.
People come to the doorman in my building. I have a doorman building.
Yeah.
You know how that is.
That's Platinum Studio.
It's true. That's right. Studio D.
Studio D.
But no one ever comes to our apartment, which is good because we don't have
Well,
any
you know what
candy.
my theory is that I just can't realize now? Because when you're in the city and you live in an apartment building, all the kids in the apartment building go door to door and you get it.
Right.
And the thing is, we live just on the cusp of the suburbs.
Yeah.
So I bet you the parents just take them out to the regular houses so they have like a more
More traditional Halloween. I'm sure
Anyway,
they
so
do.
since I never get any kids, I bought, I want to say 24 full-size candy bars
Nice.
on jet.com.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming I'm going to eat them all. I'm assuming none of the kids are going to. But if I get like 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 kids, they're going to be really fucking happy.
Amped.
They're going to be like, oh man, that kid, that Wii Studios guy, he's
That
great.
kid. That's how you see yourself at 32.
I do.
It's that
I
kid.
don't want to get old.
Oh, man.
We're dead soon.
Yeah.
Think about it. If we just repeat the last, like, 12 years of our life. You remember 12 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't that long ago.
Yeah.
We'll be 44.
It's funny, I had a conversation this morning and I was like, last time I'd been to Washington, D.C., I was like, yeah, it was 21 years ago. And I was like, ugh.
Yeah, that
I don't
felt like literally like 2 weeks ago.
A child who now can drink was born and maybe died in between the time.
You know how many people have died since...
A lot of people.
Since the stories we have told from high school?
People died during the recording of this
Nations
podcast.
have fallen.
Oh my god.
Anyway, so I got the full-size candy bar. My point is, don't use Jet unless you have the promo code. Then you should do it, save some money.
Yeah.
But if you're shopping on Amazon, buy Halloween candy through Amazon. Rather than going through the pharmacy or the supermarket, and do it through our website so we get a little cut.
And what was that website again, Jake?
It's, oh boy, it's not Jet.
It's not Jet.
I know. Makes sense for Amazon to go first because they're the main.
Yep.
So it's Amazon.wepodcast.com.
.com. You got it, man. All right, guys. And if you don't want to spend any money, but you do want to support the show, tell a friend. That helps a lot.
Write an iTunes review.
We're
not going to read one today because I have to pee really bad.
Yeah, no, I didn't think you were going to read one. So, guys, leave a review on iTunes. And that's it for this episode of 90s Percentile. My name is Dan.
My name is Jack. And
we fucked that up, but...
My name is Jack.
All right, let's just leave it like...
Well, I don't, if you didn't notice, we like to have whoever started the show not finish it. That way each one of us gets a line.
Right.
I'll go.
Okay.
My name is Jack.
My name is Dan, and we'll see you in another decade. Hey, everybody! Welcome to Worst Episode Ever.
Gotta get those podcasts. I'm Citizen Kane, but I'm also Batman.
Citizen Batman. Citizen Wayne.
Isn't
Citizen Wayne. End on that note.
Patent pending.
Absolutely.
All right,
guys.
Thanks, Facebook Live.
I don't know who's watching on Facebook Live because we lost the comments and everything. So
here's the thing.
If you suffered through that, we appreciate it. So thank you.
Nah, this is Facebook's fault. We didn't lose the first time was my fault. This time it's it's Facebook's fault.
It's the children who are wrong.
It's shitty. It doesn't work very well.
Yeah, so maybe we won't even use Facebook tomorrow. But
we'll see.
We'll see, guys. All right, so thanks for joining us on this impromptu Facebook Live test. It was a resounding failure, so we'll see what happens. And thanks, guys, for checking us out.
And thank you, Zach.
Thanks for supporting us.
I can see you're commenting from across the room.
Zach Kowalski.
And there's no easy way to get over.
There's no easy way to end the show, so we're going to have Jack's crotch probably be in frame.
I have to pee so bad. I feel like Harrison Ford in Last Crusade. Just let it go, son.
Penitent man kneels. Kneel! All right.
There we are. Look at these.
Up close and personal.